welcome Trinidad and Tobago to our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Veda Bharat. Let's take a look at the headlines. The President of the Republic of Nigeria promises to continue to celebrate Emancipation Day with the English-speaking Caribbean countries. The initiatives which Trinidad and Tobago have taken to preserve its African heritage and history are applauded by the Republic of Nigeria. Olympic swimmer George Bovell III will have the opportunity to win Trinidad's first gold medal in swimming tomorrow when he swims in the finals of the men's 50 meters freestyle competition. President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, His Excellency Professor George Maxwell Richards, says economic development in Trinidad and Tobago can be greatly boosted via energy relations with other countries, such as that which exists with Nigeria. President Richards hosted a state banquet in honor of the President of Nigeria, His Excellency Goodluck Jonathan, at the Knowsley Building, where he delivered his address.
In the current climate of challenge to economies worldwide, we recognize that our economic development thrust must be guided by initiatives that make room for facilitating the development of trading partners wherever possible. Hence, the importance of the African initiative centered on energy.
His Excellency Professor George Maxwell Richards is applauding the oil and gas training initiative, which is being offered to the Nigerian trainees by this country. He says this project will assist in boosting the integration with this country and other nations.
With respect to Nigeria, in particular, the National Energy Skills Center training programs begun this year augurs well for the development of young Nigerians who will take back to their home country not only technical skills, but also the experience of sharing with counterparts in Trinidad and Tobago. And this people-to-people encounter will benefit both our countries, and Trinidad and Tobago is happy to be a contract partner in this initiative.
While highlighting the 50 years of diplomatic relations between the two countries, Professor Richards is reflecting on the part this country's first president, Dr. Eric Williams, played in moving the nation forward.
We acknowledge Nigeria as being among the first countries to welcome Trinidad and Tobago into the family of nations, and 2 years later, in 1964, the Honorable Eric Williams, our first Prime Minister, led a delegation to your great country, the first of a series of high-level visits between Trinidad and Tobago and Nigeria.
The President says he is hopeful that the formal launch of the Nigeria chapter regarding this country's anniversary celebrations would enhance trade opportunities between the two countries.
I hope that the formal launch of the Nigeria chapter, which is due to take place in Nigeria in August in the context of our 50th anniversary celebrations, will draw attention to the possibilities for diverse trade between our two countries, and that, indeed, trade will improve.
Meanwhile, Professor George Maxwell Richards is announcing that this country's national instrument is being used in many parts of the world. He is applauding the efforts of those who may have contributed to this and is hopeful that it will be heard in even more countries of the world.
I am very pleased to know that our gift of steel pans, as it is popularly known here, is being used at presidential events in Nigeria. I hope that the use of pan will spread throughout the country as it has in many parts of Europe and the Far East.
Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan is applauding the initiatives which Trinidad and Tobago have taken to preserve its African heritage and history. Speaking to the hundreds who gathered at the Cambule processions in Port of Spain, where the Nigerian president and his huge entourage joined in with members of the government, His Excellency Goodluck Jonathan expressed his warm sentiments on the emancipation celebrations.
I am very much aware of the shared history and strong ancestral links which bind our two countries, spanning several centuries and undiminished by distance, and even the Atlantic Ocean. A nation that lacks the insight and consciousness of its history cannot entertain hopes and aspiration for the present. That is why we have responsibility never to forget the lessons of our past, and therefore the imperative need to continue to strive to strengthen our relations in all spheres of life.
His Excellency Goodluck Jonathan speaking at the Cambule procession during the emancipation celebrations in Port of Spain. The Nigerian president is promising to ensure that the fruitful coexistence between the Republic of Nigeria and Trinidad and Tobago continues to flourish.
Nigeria will continue to strive assiduously towards upholding the mutually beneficial spirit of cooperation and solidarity that happily exists between the peoples of the African continent and our brethren in the Caribbean community, and especially in the spirit of the Commonwealth of Nations. We must work tirelessly together with unity of purpose to create a new world that we all can be proud of.
His Excellency is commending Trinidad and Tobago for its recognition and commemoration of the abolition of slavery, while also expressing delight in the appointment of a female leader of government in this country.
I salute the people and government of Trinidad and Tobago for their foresight in recognizing the import and significance of commemorating this day, being the first nation to declare a national day marking the abolition of slavery. Let me reassure you that Nigeria will continue to remember this day with you people. I thank you for your kind attention, and I wish you a happy celebration. And let me again use this unique opportunity to thank you, my brothers and sisters of Trinidad and Tobago, for electing a lady as the Prime Minister. In Nigeria, we are also struggling to make sure that we give opportunities to women, because even looking at population ratio, it's almost 1:1. And in that case, for any nation to move forward, you must encourage the women. My government has given a lot of responsibilities to women. I wouldn't bore you by listing them, but I'm also waiting for the day a woman will be the president of Nigeria.
More news after the break.
Before 2007, what we had existing in the Trinidad and Tobago Police was a manual system where the information were placed in books and ledgers. With the introduction of CAPA, all information now is being placed on computers.
You will see how we have been redeployed so more of us can take to the streets on 2 legs and 4 legs, on 2 wheels and 4 wheels, on land and in the air, with the aim of not only fighting crime, but working to prevent crime before it happens.
The initiative itself is focusing on our core services, that being responding to calls for service from the public and being out in the community patrolling to ensure that there is a high level of safety and security within the communities, within the neighborhoods that our officers are patrolling in.
Our dads aren't the only ones who beat up on kids. Sometimes kids beat up on kids.
Every child has the right to be protected from violence, abuse, and neglect.
Because I shouldn't be afraid to go to school or play with my friends.
Because no child should be hurt by adults or by other children.
Because safety is my right. Stop the bullying.
Unite for children!
Welcome back. The National Energy and Science Center has reached yet another milestone in its own history books. On Wednesday, 1st August 2012, the NESC, in the esteemed presence of Senator the Honorable Fazal Karim, Minister of Tertiary Education and Skills Training, and the Honorable Rudranath Indar Singh, MP for Kuva South and Minister in the Ministry of Finance, welcomed His Excellency Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, visited to personally congratulate Nigerian nationals who will commence training at the institution. Just 1 week prior to his visit, 57 Nigerian trainees successfully completed training in the fields of automotive services maintenance, heavy equipment and crane operations, industrial mechanical maintenance, and shield metal arc welding. Their success is the culmination of an agreement which found its genesis through the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding between the NESC and KES Services Limited of Nigeria to provide training in these priority areas. Over the years, Trinidad and Tobago has managed to successfully cultivate resources for training and development that will continue to bring nationals from around the world to its shores. This kind of collaboration is one testament to the continued linkages between Trinidad and Tobago and its ancestry, as the country gives back by contributing to its own development with the talents and expertise that have been cultivated from an innate and abundant resource, the native genius of its people. In his remarks, Minister Karim is expressing his determination to work towards boosting technical and vocational training ties with Nigeria and is revealing his proposal to establish a model of the NESC training institution in Nigeria.
I am determined, Your Excellency, to expand our relationship in the area of technical and vocational education and training. And I would therefore like to propose to Your Excellency what I believe to be the next logical step in this regard. And as the chairman would have told you earlier on, I coined the phrase, the creation of Tringeria, the bond of Trinidad and Tobago and Nigeria, where the NESC can now export the talent and the skills of the energy sector to help your country, to help our brothers and sisters in Nigeria. I want to tell you, Your Excellency, President, I give my commitment as Minister of Tertiary Education and Skills Training to make all our agencies and all our abilities and capacities available to you, sir, to your government and to the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
His Excellency also gave his commitment to the initiative, saying he recognizes that Trinidad and Tobago is genuinely interested in bonding with Nigeria to assist in training for the oil and gas sector. A new cohort of 70 Nigerian trainees have already commenced training at the NESC drilling school in St. Madeleine.
I'm quite pleased with the Honorable Minister because I think he's so used to us, even from his speech, even our greetings and our call sign, "Hi, Joe," has been so mastered by him. So I have to thank you for that. It shows clearly that you are not just interested in training them because of any benefit that you get from fees or so on, but you have the passion and the interest to link up with Nigeria and these people from the Niger Delta area to make sure that they are trained in a way that they will play a key role in the oil industry one of the key sectors of our national economy.
The Nigerian president reflected on events recorded in the Holy Bible, which were similar to the slavery endured by the African people. He is identifying the great appreciation and celebration which have now resulted from those seasons of agony which have ended.
Even the men of God were enslaved in Egypt. And probably because of that slavery, great leaders like Moses came into being. And for that, Moses led them to the promised land. And now they are part of the globe that dominates the world. So today, we are thinking about the future. What do we now do as free men and women? It's for us to embrace science and technology to rule the world.
Meanwhile, Minister in the Ministry of Finance, Rudy Ndarsing, says, in spite of the negativism that is commonly associated with slavery, the unity and togetherness which came out of the centuries of hardships and struggles are reason enough to look back and celebrate. Minister Ndarsing says this country embraces its Nigerian brothers and sisters and continues to work towards strengthening its ties with the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Trinidad and Tobago and Nigeria, we share a common bond, we share a common cultural experience and a rich sense of history as a result of that unfortunate experience which we refer to as slavery. But from both countries, persons have risen in the context of having given a true sense of service to Trinidad and Tobago and also Nigeria. And in that context, we must continue to exemplify to the world that we have learned richly from slavery and we have overcome all obstacles. So today, Nigeria and Trinidad and Tobago can be an integral part of the global community.
More news after the break.
The Homo sapien, we'll call him Mark. It spends its days trying to attract a mate. Success. What follows is a series of celebratory actions unique to this species. Every Homo sapien has their own way of displaying themselves to attract a female. But things don't go according to plan.
Where the water gone?
No water, no love. Pay your water bill today.
The Water and Sewage Authority of Trinidad and Tobago. Water security for every sector. Deliver it, sustain it.
Olympic swimmer George Bovell III will have the opportunity to win Trinidad's first gold medal in swimming on Friday when he swims in the finals of the men's 50 meters freestyle competition. Bovell started day 6 of the Olympics with a winning performance in his heat. Swimming out of lane 3 in heat 6, Bovell smashed the competition to finish first in a time of 21.77 seconds and move on to the semi-finals. His time was the fastest among all the competitors in the heats, but not in the semis, where he clocked the same time, 21.77 seconds, again to finish second in his semi-final. And while Bovell is into the finals, he will have to improve on his time if he is to earn a place on the winner's podium. Bovell's time was the 5th fastest in the semi-finals and almost a quarter of a second slower than the current 50 meters world record holder Cesar Cielo, who clocked 21.54 in his semi-final. The final of the men's 50 meters freestyle takes place on Friday at 3 p.m. Trinidad time. More news after the break.
Carjacking has become very prevalent in recent times. Certain makes of vehicles are more preferred targets for criminals. When approaching intersections or junctions, ensure that all doors are locked and windows are wound up if possible. Remember, crime prevention is everyone's business. A message from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service.
Reporting from communities across the country. People are calling Nalis Libraries their library. Tell me, why is Nalis your library?
My library is where I can have fun learning.
My library is helping me earn better grades with online research resources.
My library is my gateway to the world of information.
My library is providing access to the differently abled. As a visually impaired person, I can envision limitless possibilities.
My library is making my world truly worldwide with free internet access.
My library is helping me keep an eye on my health with access to the virtual health library via the Nalis website.
Nalis is my library.
Welcome back. Grand Emancipation Day celebrations at the Ministry of Local Government as Dr. Suraj Rambachan explains the importance of paying tribute to each group of citizens which make up the rich and vibrant culture of Trinidad and Tobago. The Honorable Minister of Local Government says celebrations such as those held for emancipation in Trinidad and Tobago help to create a sense of pride in its people.
By celebrating Emancipation Day or Eid or Diwali or Indian Arrival Day or what have you, what we are doing is paying respect, not just to the people with whom we work, but we are paying respect to their rich legacy, their rich ancestry, and their rich traditions. Ancestry is very, very important. If we are to understand who we are, if we are to develop our own definition of ourselves as a society, it is important that we understand not only our own ancestry, but the ancestry of all the different groups that form this beautiful cosmopolitan nation of Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago has the capacity to be one of the best examples to the world of where cultures reside in different forms, but where these cultures intermingle, where these cultures affect each other in terms of giving value to each other, and where all these cultures, as they merge, are beginning to forge, as it were, a new identity, a new culture, that is one that is distinctly Trinidad and Tobago, or as we say, Trinbagonian.
Sentiments by Local Government Minister Dr. Suraj Rambachan, whose office came alive to the pulsating sounds of powerful African drums and beautifully colored African wear. This as Grand Emancipation Day celebrations were being held to commemorate over 170 years of the abolition of slavery. Dr. Rambachan is urging citizens to embrace their ancestry as it plays a key role in the richness of the country's culture, which sets it high above many other nations. A person's sense of identity, sense of self, and self-definition are, according to Dr. Rambachan, all rooted in that person's culture, traditions, and ancestry. He says this should never be suppressed, but instead celebrated and upheld.
You cannot separate a person from his or her cultural roots. A person's sense of identity, a person's feeling of self, a person's self-definition is in fact based in that person's traditions, that person's ancestry, that person's culture. And it's something that you must never try to take away or deny or in any way suppress. In fact, you must try to celebrate it, uphold it, and to add value to it, and especially so in the workplace. Because when a person comes to work, that person brings his total self or her total self. And part and parcel of that total self is in fact the cultural self or the religious self or the social self that is based in the person's traditions and based in the person's cultural development.
The local government minister notes that when employees are allowed to celebrate and acknowledge their ancestry in the workplace, it motivates them to perform even more efficiently at their jobs.
When we do so, And when we appreciate people for who they are and not what we want to make them to be, when we appreciate them, then we are setting the foundations for a greater level of motivation and inspiration on the part of those people to make a more valued contribution to the development of the organization in which they work and to the development of the lives of others. In fact, your best employees are your happiest employees, and your happiest employees are the ones that feel appreciated.
News 4.
This has been the News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Veena Bharat. Thanks for watching.